Getting a good crowd in here already. Welcome, everybody. We will be getting started in about 3-4 minutes. So we'll just wait for everybody to join. Hello, Gilbert. Thanks for being here. I like the early birds. Oh, from Ireland to South Carolina to North Carolina. This is great. Thank you all for being here. We will get started in a few minutes. And Quebec City. Great representation here. Thank you all for joining all the way from Germany to Austin, Texas. I saw Ireland, Canada. This is wonderful. We appreciate you all being here. We will get started in about 1 minute. Thank you all for being here. We are just waiting on a couple more coming through, and then we will kick things off. And yes, Mark knows he's on mute.
I'm actually talking inside of AltSpace at the same time I'm talking. So you may see me talking, and for the most part, I think I'll know when I'm on mute. But just in case, please don't don't hesitate to say something.
We'll keep you on track.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, we have a great group here. I know people are still continuing to join, but I am going to go ahead and kick things off because what we're going to do, I'm going to kind of walk through the program with everybody. So first things first, let me introduce myself. My name is Ann Sari. I am the Executive Director of the Converged User Group. We're very excited to have everybody here today. We have a big event happening. We have around 60, 70 people participating in AltSpace VR. And then of course, all of you here to watch it on the Zoom live stream, which is lots of fun. Kind of switches up the regular Zoom into a more interactive environment. So if you're not familiar with the Converged User Group, I did want to share just a couple of things with everybody quickly. We're a group where we bring together members who are using or exploring Dell CI and HCI technologies. So we host different events throughout the year, this being one of them today. We have another event tomorrow, which we'll tell you about. We usually host events during industry conferences like VMworld, Dell Technologies World. We also have monthly community hour events and various programs throughout the year. So during today's program, we're going to be live streaming the event from AltSpace VR. So you're going to get an up close view on the VR world with thanks to Mark here. And there's going to be a short program featuring speakers from Topgolf, New Belgium Brewing, and of course, our Dell Technologies and VMware experts. After today's program, you're going to have an opportunity to explore the VR space with Mark from Link to VR team. Mark, would you like to introduce yourself and maybe let everybody know how you'll be working with Josh from the Dell team? Because it's kind of fun. We'll have our own reporter to take us around the environment.
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Mark Tucker. I'm the lead developer for Link to VR. And what we'll be doing today is I'll be sharing my screen, and you will basically I'll be inside of AltSpace in the VR program, and then you'll be seeing me streaming that. And then I'll be sort of following around one of our roaming reporters, and this is Josh. We'll be doing that. And then we're going to have some interviews, a couple other things, and you're going to kind of get to see what it looks like. Even though you don't have your headset, you can kind of still get a feel for what it's like to be inside the VR environment. You'll get an idea of the spatial audio and things like that. It's a really fun time. So far, it's been really fun. So hopefully that will continue today. But yeah, I'll let Ann continue. And I think they just mentioned from stage they're going to start in a few minutes. So we'll be good whenever. So we're ready to hop in when you are. You just let me know.
Perfect timing. So as Mark said, everyone's going to have an opportunity to ask questions. So if you have questions during today's event, I would encourage you to use the Q&A, sorry, thinking about VR. Use the Q&A tool to put in any questions so we can make sure to track those. Because Mark and Josh from Dell, they're going to help make sure to answer those questions. We can go up and talk to people in the environment. So we're excited to make sure that we get all your questions answered, and you'll also have an opportunity to interview some of the guests. Mark and Josh will take us around for that. And it's important too to let everybody know you will have an opportunity to not only ask questions, but to participate in the scavenger hunt to win prizes. If anyone here on the Zoom can spell the word out of the letters we find in the environment, everyone's going to be in a drawing for some fun prizes after the event. There is also, on top of all this exciting activity, we also have a beer tasting with New Belgium Brewmasters around 5 p.m. today. That's 5 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll be sharing a link within the chat to everybody to join that tasting after the networking is done within the VR space. So a lot of activities happening today. If you have questions, let us know in the chat. Put it in the Q&A. We'll get through those. And we'll get started shortly. I know we also have Shelly here from the Link to VR team. So we got two great guests to guide us along. Let us know if you have questions. And Mark, I'll pass it off to you if you're ready to take us in the environment here.
All right, sounds fun. I'm actually, just so I can optimize my video, I'll be stopping my video. And then for the most part, I'll stay on mute unless what I'm saying needs to be heard by both groups. So, like when I'm asking questions and stuff. So we're getting ready to start. So here we go. All right, there we go. So we're actually inside of AltSpace right now, and you'll see a message from the event host is telling us that we're just about to begin. So that's perfect timing. Let me minimize this so we're not getting this gray bar over here. I'm going to close that. All right, so we're here. We're inside AltSpace. This is our converged VR lounge and auditorium. And so we'll get an opportunity to sort of explore this space in a little bit. Since we're getting ready to start, we're going to sort of head towards the auditorium. And then afterwards, we'll hook up with Josh and we'll have one of our first interviews. And we'll kind of lead you into that as needed. So for now, I'm going to unmute the audio inside of AltSpace. So you may hear some chatter. And that's where that's coming from. So go ahead and do that. Share. All right, can everyone see?
Hey everybody, okay? We're about ready to get started. We're going to start in about 2 minutes.
We can hear David,
so
and
for those
the
of you
bar
on
looks
the
great.
Zoom,
oh, thank you.
Bear with us as we get some things taken care of.
Looks
in
like
the
they're
room.
getting
For
stuff taken care of. So let's walk around.
Please come into Auditorium North and get established, and we'll start soon.
We'll do that in a second.
If,
let's go explore.
Lee Caswell or Shannon Champion can hear me, please come to the backstage area. Thank you.
Backstage area. Okay. So as you can see, just inside of the VR area, we can do a lot of different things. We can do a lot of product placement. We can show off videos, which are currently turned off since they're getting ready to speak. But later on, there'll be a video playing here that we'll be able to show you. But we're just going to explore the space just a little bit, and then just a quick walkthrough, and then we'll turn around and head into the auditorium. And then we'll spend some time really exploring in a bit. So I'm going to actually look outside. We have buildings, and can't get out there right now, which is, sad. Let's see what we got. City. We have the PowerFlex over here. And so later on, we're actually going to they'll be discussing these blue things here where it says Let's Talk PowerFlex. These are called conversation stations. And this is where we'll go, and there'll be a lot of people standing around talking about this specific product or topic, depending on what that happens to be. So let's just go on in there. We'll come back and explore the bar in just a moment. That way we don't miss anything. Teleporting. So if you ever get your VR headset, you'll be able to teleport around. You'll hear us say that you should teleport a lot. This is teleporting. You can basically send this arch out, and you can sort of jump to different locations.
At Deltec Summit last year, or 2 years ago.
So here, I'll actually take this opportunity to show you
probably
the spatial audio. So as we get close to different people, you can hear their conversations. Actually, I'm going to say hi to Jeremy real quick. Hey, Jeremy.
Yeah, if we.
Sorry, I'm on the Zoom. Just thought I'd say hi real quick. Go ahead and do what you were doing. Don't want to interrupt.
Oh yeah. Hey everyone, how many people are with you?
Looks like 82. So we got
Wow,
a
you
good
got
number.
82 in the Zoom?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hey everyone.
So thanks, Jeremy. You go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
That's really cool.
Oh yeah, no problem.
So Jim, what are you up to?
Doing with NVIDIA. Actually, it's right outside, and then around the corner there's another room similar to this, but it's decked out a little different.
He was just, well, he was just here. Now he's leaving.
Talking about how you folks are going to be retiring early.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm going to hop down here where it's going to be a little bit quieter.
Great NVIDIA stuff.
I can see Chris.
And some other places where you hike around and shoot things.
Does anybody have any questions while we're kind of waiting for them to start? Yeah, I might have to cut it off when they start, but does anybody have any questions in the meantime about, alt space or kind of what we're seeing or hearing?
You need to help me, buddy.
The room looks great. I'll just say that from my perspective, but if others have questions, make sure to put those in the Q&A. And we'll be sure to get those answered. But it's pretty cool being in this auditorium and seeing everybody in VR networking before the event. And it looks like our speakers are getting ready too.
Yeah, they are. They're all hanging out backstage. We actually have a little backstage area. I'll take you guys on a private tour after this
Hi, Ann.
so you can see it.
Ann? Did you know if you click your joystick
Looks like he's
in, you can adjust your height? Like just push
All right,
straight
everybody.
down on the joystick?
Welcome.
Well, not like that.
Welcome to the
Push it-
CONVERGED
push
VR
'em.
Lounge, the new
Push
and
'em in like a
improved. What do you think? Anybody got
Push
a
the
little
joystick
emoji
like a
action?
button
Can I
to
see
adjust
some
your
emojis,
height.
please?
Going on?
Fantastic. All right, cool.
And now it makes it
Let's
look
see
like
here.
you're
Where's my cameraman?
standing up.
Mark, can you raise your, let's see here. Where's my cameraman? There's Mark. Okay, great. Where's Josh? Josh around? Yeah, we'll find Josh later. All right, we're going to get started. I'd ask that you all in VR, please mute yourselves so that you can unmute yourselves. If it gets really bad, we'll do the host mute. But welcome. We're going to get started. Let me get thumbs up, smiley faces. Can everybody hear me from the stage? All right.
Yes.
Fantastic. That's good. That's good. Interesting. I think I just saw some instances give me some thumbs up. Fantastic. My name's David Giska. I'm with the Converge user group. We usually do our events up until COVID in person, and I really miss seeing everybody and being there. I'm sure you do too. I talk to a lot of folks who just can't wait to get back out there in person. VMworld is always a fantastic time for us. We always have an incredible meeting. We'll get there some point. In the meantime, we discovered virtual reality like this. This is about the third or the fourth event we've done this year. We get you pretty darn close. Looks a little cartoonish at first. You get over that really quick. And this spatial audio and this interaction is fantastic. So what we're going to do for you today is give you a quick stage program. We're going to let you hear from Dell Technologies and VMware with some updates that you should be aware of during VMworld right now. Then we're going to have an incredible customer story with one of our board members, New Belgian Brewing. Adam Little is going to have a conversation top beforehand. We're going to try to keep short so that we can break and quickly go explore VR, have more fun interacting, have those side conversations. So it's really exciting. I'm up here with Matt Wakefield, the Vice President of the Converged User Group. Matt, before we kick it off, would love to just, if you have any comments or if you can welcome all these nice people. It is, in fact, the customer's user group. It's your user group, so please.
Thank you, David. Everybody hear me okay? Volume good?
Got you good.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm
thanks
right next to
everybody. You know, really appreciate everybody coming. I'm here standing for JT Toolin, who couldn't be here today, but welcome to the Converge VR Lounge. We certainly miss, I personally, and I'm sure everybody does, misses the in-person events, but we really think this is if you can't be there in person, be there in VR. It's a great way to bring back a sense of community. And we love that it works across all the geographies. It works for everybody remote, folks that can't travel. And it's not quite like being there, but it really is almost as good kind of once you get accustomed to the avatar experience. Everybody just enjoy the program, engage and enjoy. There's lots of really cool things in the VR space. It's a great place to check out, and it gives you a chance just to meet people, enjoy being kind of back in the community again. If you get a chance, spread the word, share the experience on Twitter, and then give us feedback. Let us know what you'd like to see, what you think about the space, and any other ideas you may have. So with that, again, welcome, and I think we're going to have a great show today. Thanks, Dave.
We are. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you so much. All right, folks, we're going to kick it off. I'm going to wander over here and see if I can get to my chair so we can do some fireside chats. I would like to bring up, if they are around, Shannon Champion and Lee Caswell. Do I have my speakers? Let's see here. There's Lee Caswell. What an entrance, my friend. Hey, can we do the fist bump?
I think we can. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
That's
very
a pretty good.
So, very good.
Hey,
All
Dave,
right,
if
Lee,
you can hear
welcome.
me, I'm around. This is Shannon, but I'm stuck outside Auditorium North, and it sends me to a black box when I try and come in. So if someone could come help me, that'd be awesome.
Wow, that is crazy. Well, Ghost of Shannon, that was great to hear. I'm sure that the help team will be there. Ghostbusters will be there shortly. Lee and I are going to try to sit down for a fireside chat. So you ready to do this, Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
All right, let's see here. Whoops, missed my chair a little bit.
There we go.
All right, that's good. That's good. I think this works. So
Yeah.
Everyone else can hear.
we've got some speakers back there. These are our customer speakers behind us.
Hello, everyone.
I'll point out Scott Forehand in the beard, looking good, and Adam Little from New Belgium in the styly spiky hair, which I don't know how to describe that. You already met Matt Wakefield. Matt Wakefield, in addition to being vice president of the Converged User Group, is also you run global infrastructure for Oshkosh. Is that the deal?
Yeah, the platform services and network connectivity for Oshkosh Corporation.
Yep, Oshkosh Corporation, the giant manufacturer. Oh, I see Shannon. Here she comes. Look at that. Fantastic. So now I'll get up. Thank you. Welcome, Shannon Champion, everybody.
Everyone,
right.
I made it.
She made it.
Sort
That's
of.
fantastic. All right, now the tricky part. Shannon, please don't fall over.
I know. Try and get in my
Awesome.
chair.
Okay. Are we there?
Sort of.
We're there. Fantastic. All right, let me check my notes. Where am I? So, Shannon, Lee, thank you for joining us. Folks, we one of the great things that the user group does is we get fantastic access to leadership from Dell Technologies, VMware, and we love to give you updates. So as Shannon gets herself comfortable, we can advance the slide, and I think we've got a fancy slide back there. which reminds you that VMworld is underway. So if you haven't, please check that out. There's a whole bunch of great VxRail sessions to choose from. We've got a special one we'll call out in a second. And then on the next slide, you'll get to introduce to our speakers. So let's see, that's almost coming. And thank you for being patient with us. This is new technology. There's a lot of stuff that we're pushing the envelope on. We appreciate it, and we're going to have fun. Shannon and Lee, thanks. Shannon, great to have you here. Are you adjusted?
I finally am adjusted. Yes.
All right.
I think we are good. I can
Awesome.
relax.
Awesome. All right. Good deal. Let's see here. Let me do one of these because I can.
Oh, there you
There
go.
we go. All right, cool. So welcome back. It's great to see you both. It's great to have you here. Wish it was in person. You're going to hear me say that a lot. What I'd love to do is get right into it. Shannon, this week there were a bunch of announcements. Can you please just tell all the folks what are the announcements that the Converge user group members really need to know about?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm excited to be here. I think if we were at a normal VMworld, we would listen, and this is like the next closest thing. I think this is really fun. So I'm excited to get to talk to you all after this. Yeah, so VMworld this week has been exciting, action-packed as it always has. We launched a range of solutions that continue to emphasize the commitment that we have to our joint innovation between Dell Technologies and VMware. And now more than ever, we see technology is central to all of the strategic conversations that we're having as more and more customers are recognizing the shift to a distributed multi-cloud world, and they're grappling with challenges like security, connectivity, and cost. And together, VMware and Dell Technologies continue to work to deliver consistent experience at the data center, in the public clouds, or at the edge. So we have some really exciting announcements. And for those of
There were
you
about
in
three,
this,
weren't there?
yes,
Were there
three
three?
announcements. There were three announcements, and for those of you in this room, you'll also be excited to know that VxRail showed up in a very big way and is a component in all of them. So let me recap really quickly. The first, and this should not be a surprise to any of you, but we had a major Apex announcement. So Dell Technologies Apex Cloud Services with VMware Cloud is a Dell managed as a service offering that brings the simplicity and the scalability of public cloud together with the performance and control of private cloud. And the Apex Cloud Services with VMware Cloud supports both virtualized and containerized applications across multiple cloud locations. And you'll hear us talk about it being built on infrastructure that delivers 6 nines of availability. Those of you in this audience may recognize that
Love it.
infrastructure as being VxRail. So yes, it plays a big role in that. You won't hear VxRail mentioned as part of that, and that's on purpose. This offer really is about delivering the outcomes and less so about the infrastructure, but just so you know, it's VxRail. The second announcement is Dell EMC Object Scale on VMware vSphere with Tanzu for enterprise class Kubernetes native object storage. So this is a cloud native package that IT can manage and scale with ease using familiar VMware tools. And because
All right, Shannon,
VxRail,
I'm catching some, anybody else, your audio dropped. Is that just me?
oh, it did. Can you
You're
still
good
hear
now.
me?
Everybody good? Thumbs up? Okay, great. Thanks. Sorry.
So wait, is it like time for the bus? Yeah, the kids probably just got home. Now they're on the internet. Okay, so yeah, so the second announcement is Object Scale on VMware vSphere with Tanzu. So VxRail, since it supports the latest vSAN data persistence platform, can be as the underlying infrastructure with Object Scale software. So VxRail with Object Scale can power modern workloads. So think AI, analytics, and cloud native applications that require S3. So that one's pretty exciting too. And then the third exciting announcement is Dell Technologies validated design for AI. So customers can kind of harness the power of AI with continuous insights at scale. And this one is a joint collaboration between VMware, NVIDIA with the AI Enterprise and the latest GPUs, as well as Dell EMC infrastructure. And you guessed it, VxRail is part of that, along with Power Scale and Power Switch. So yeah, it's been a busy week, and those are all three exciting announcements, all with VxRail at the core.
Very cool. Yes, very cool. So Lee, pardon me, what can you share about the VMware Dell Technologies partnership? A lot of folks ask about that. Having both of you on stage, it's a great opportunity to hear to hear it. And if folks have questions later, know who to come after to ask deeper questions.
Of course, this is one of my favorite events. Every year we get together and just show some of the amazing progress, right, that together we've built. And together means certainly Dell Technologies and VMware, but it also means together with you and our customers. And, some of the stats about what VxRail has accomplished so far, we just pulled together a couple of these today, and it was really, I was blown away. Over 13,000 customers now in VxRail, with over 175,000 nodes developed. I mean, and deployed. That scale. You can start to think. Initially, a lot of folks thought HCI, hyperconverged infrastructure, right, was going to be, small scale, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes, but that's not what's happening, right? This is happening at a massive deployment scale, and what we're finding, right, is that the rebuy rates are off the charts as well because the customer experience is so great. Shannon talked about how we're expanding the reach. We talked about bringing in AI, for example, right, with our NVIDIA certified VxRail components. That's really important, right, as you start to think of how do you differentiate basically your investment in IT and how do we reach out into the developer teams. VxRail is doing a really good job of that because it gets the infrastructure out of the way effectively. Some of the other areas that we're really excited about right now is, in addition to Apex, as you heard about, we've got some new development that you'll see in VMworld. One of them is called Project Monterey, and I might touch base on that for just a moment because it does show how infrastructure is evolving to basically think about new applications and how we build out infrastructure. That Project Monterey is basically the deployment of something that was initially called Smart NICs, by the way, basically taking a NIC, adding an ARM processor or other processors, and being able to offload some of the infrastructure management from the CPU, right, where you've got scarce resources, and basically running those in an offload manner. We're using the term DPU, by the way, data processing unit, basically because we're processing this data. And that's an important distinction in my mind. And a NIC architecture, right, is subservient to the CPU. And, our insight, the aha moment really around these DPUs is they actually run independently of the CPU. And that's important because what that means is now you can have air-gap security architectures where you have distributed firewalls, for example, secure boot, take new security metrics, particularly as you have this explosion in east-west traffic in scale-out systems. And so watch carefully on what happens with Project Monterey. Our teams are working very closely together, and we've got joint partners together that we're working with, including the NVIDIA, Pensando, and others. So stay tuned on that. I think that's going to be a really exciting area for us to be thinking about. And VxRail, of course, is going to be number one to market here, right? As we look at how do you bring these new technologies so that they can be consumed faster. That's really one of the joint areas where we've successfully taken on the area of like, how do we integrate this all together so that you can deploy it and actually get to the business at hand, right? Which is effectively deploying applications. One last area I thought I might comment on, right, is, as we've brought VxRail into new markets, and you've seen as we've grown the number of platforms that we support, you're also going to see more of VxRail applied into the edge. This is an area. Oops, as I've just make sure I've.
I
am I
just
still in
left the host zone.
Oh,
So
did
did
I
I.
do
Can
that?
you guys hear us?
Can you hear me
No,
okay?
we just lost you.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Let's. Go to the
Yeah,
right.
let's see.
Amplify my voice. Can you? Right.
Yeah.
Did you
All
guys
right, yes,
figure it out?
I'm back. Sorry.
Yep, all
All right,
good.
awesome. All right.
So sorry about that. What we're looking at there is how do we go and bring VxRail out to the exploding edge? So you start thinking about the edge, right? This distributed environment. And we've talked for a long time about edge to core to cloud and having a consistent operating model. This is one of the areas where the edge has new requirements, right? Around cost, around simplicity, around scaling down in many cases, right? So how do we go and build an intelligent edge and start thinking about the fact that you can't move all the data, it turns out. So you have to start thinking about capturing data where data is being generated. Edge is really where a lot of the sensor, new IoT applications, manufacturing applications, retail, distributed retail environments. And so you're going to see a lot of innovative edge. VxRail is right at the heart of it, support from VMware and Dell Technologies. So really appreciate your support. I hope you're as excited as we are about how we're taking hyper-converged and really making it now possible to refocus your efforts on the applications at hand, which we think is where technology innovation really is happening.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. We started a little bit late. We had some hiccups. I want to get us back on track. But Shannon, any final thoughts before we bring up the customers? You
No,
guys will
just
be around
so
for
I'm
conversation, right?
practicing my thumbs up. I'm really excited that I
Okay.
know how to do that in VR. So like if you master that skill, you're like an
Exactly.
expert in VR, right? No, like just following along those lines, you didn't hear me talk about any edge announcements. Stay tuned to some news coming very soon. If you were lucky enough to go to the session a few hours ago, we had a sneak preview, but you don't have to wait long on that one. There's some exciting stuff coming. But yeah, I'm just chat with all of you. I wore a bright pink dress. So you can find me pretty easy in the space. And I hope you I hope you come find me.
Fantastic. Lee, we're going to ask you guys, Shannon. Oh, hey, we've got somebody already who wants to come and say hi.
Hello.
That happens.
Hi.
That's okay. So thank you, folks. Both of you will be around afterwards for conversations. So they're going to be around, folks. What I'd like to do now, to please carefully set up, and you can either join the audience or you can join backstage. But I'm going to bring up our customer speakers now. Thank you guys so
Great.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm
Yeah.
on the audience.
All right. Thank you. Gentlemen, come on up. Let's see if we can do this. All right. And I'm going to move over here. What do you think? Can I hang out with you guys?
Very nice. Absolutely.
Sure.
All
See if-
right. Cool.
See if I can't get sat in this
All right.
chair.
Let's see if we can sit down. All right.
Not
This is
bad.
the side. This is interesting. Adam Little, Scott Forehand. There they are, folks. Can you see them back there? Look
Nice.
at that. That looks beautiful. All right. And I'm just hanging out with them. So Adam, please, welcome.
Sure. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks Ed and the Link to VR team. Everything looks fantastic. This is pretty cool, huh? And most importantly, thanks Scott for being here and joining us today for this little talk. Just taking a glance at our cards, see where we're all at here. But Scott, to get us started, do you want to talk about your role and where Topgolf is headed and it's new and exciting in your world?
Thank you guys for the opportunity. This is really slick. Never been a part of anything like this before. It's neat to see all this come together.
For sure.
So I'm Scott. I'm an infrastructure architect for Topgolf. I've been with the company since 2018, and my focus is software-defined data center powered by VMware, of course, and Dell EMC converged and hyper-converged technologies. So we run everything in the VMware stack that I can think of for the most part. One of the biggest things in our arsenal right now is 3D gaming powered by VDI. So we do a little bit of everything with a lot of really cool technology, NVIDIA, Dell, and VMware are huge partners of Topgolf and have been for many years. So
That and Topgolf is a big partner for us. I appreciate all their support of our business and what we do. So that's nothing's better, right, than playing some golf games and drinking some beer. I know.
yeah,
Come
that's the
on,
truth.
David, you got to be dreaming of having that happen again, right? We got to be close.
Yes.
So
we are.
Scott, do you want to talk about some of the get into that mixed 3D reality gaming stuff that you guys are working on? Or where can
Yeah,
folks
of
look for
course.
that and what's
So
coming down that pipe?
our guest experience is super important to us, and we take a lot of that to heart. Whenever a guest says they want to see something cool and inventive, we try and deliver. And many years ago, there was a project that kind of spawned from an acquisition of a company called Top Tracer that allowed us to kind of innovate the way that we think about gaming at a Topgolf venue. And it's since evolved into this 3D mixed reality gaming platform that we're able to do things like deliver Angry Birds to our guest experience at the venue. And, we have games called Jewel Jam. We have virtual courses where you can play any of the major PGA circuits in a Topgolf from a bay, getting your Belgian brews delivered to you. Um, it's really, really cool, and it's easily scalable with the technology that we put in the venue, which is really nice for us. And we don't have to worry about how hard it is to support because there's not a lot of moving parts outside of our stack that aren't kind of white glove ingrained supported with the VxRail solution that we have deployed. So it's been challenging. I'm not going to lie because, and we've confirmed this, we're the only people on the planet that are doing what we're doing with this tech. But it's been a lot of fun, and
Yeah, that's
I
I'd say
think
that's
that
pretty awesome, right? To be pushing the limits of what that hardware can do and be kind of on the edge there. And that's really cool. You're deploying those at each site, at each Topgolf.
we are, yeah. So we've got 6 offices globally. We have one enterprise data center. We've got 2 cloud data centers. We've got over 70 edge data centers. Each one of our venues acts as an edge data center because we can't afford to have them go dark in the event of an internet circuit cut or anything other than a power outage, really. So
Mm.
we kind of treat them as a wholly owned silo for all of the tech that lives at that venue, including these VxRails and everything that runs on them for that reason, because we need to be able to continue to serve those guests. So we have quite a bit of technology packed into a pretty small package now at these venues, and at the core of it is VxRail. In our entire environment, we've got about 750 our edge servers, and we're retiring those for VxRails. That project is ever going, but right now we're pushing 250 VxRails deployed, and I just installed 5 new venues with my team over the last month of VxRails. So it's moving, and it's moving real fast.
That's awesome. That's a lot of VxRail. Can you talk about how standardizing on that platform, right, and its scalability has really helped you guys grow and approach that? At New Belgium, we kind of we're adopting that same kind of strategy of, if there's some sort of M&A, if there's some sort of consolidation, new sites stand up, what we need to do, like trying to start with the correct hardware in mind, right, and a platform that we know can grow and scale with us, keeping that in lockstep with Dell's development. And I know you guys being on the front of that have kind of helped shape some of that development. Can get into that a little bit.
Yeah, we've been trying to help shape some of that development, and the customer advisory council has been pretty integral in that effort. But the VxRail team in general has been super helpful, even outside of us joining that council. So it almost seems like nothing is off limits. That team is always willing to help us innovate and find this unique set of solutions that we can tie into a guest experience. So it's really been super rewarding from every single angle that we've tried to hit. And I don't think there's anything else on the market that would have fit that bill today, because we needed something that was compact, not outrageously expensive, scalable, agile, and it had to serve really unique workloads for us. We're running the VDI that I mentioned, powering 3D gaming, leveraging NVIDIA cards inside of these VxRails. And in that same stack, we're running traditional workloads. We're running databases, we're running containers, we're running services, microservices for that venue's infrastructure. And every bit of that has to remain performant, has to be integrated, has to be able to move around dynamically if we have a failure of a host or whatever the case may be. And there's not really anything outside of a hyper-converged appliance that would fit that bill. And there's not anything outside of Dell that I personally would have trusted to fill that gap.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I think that just goes to say how scalable the platform is and how well you guys trust it. So yeah, I think that's awesome. Thanks for sharing a bit of your story there. What do you think, David? I'm starting to get a little thirsty. Is this
I'm getting a little thirsty too. I know folks are getting thirsty, but I also know that Scott, you're going to be around to answer more questions, and Adam, you're going to be around to answer more questions too. That's correct, right?
Absolutely.
Thumbs up.
Oh yeah.
All right, fantastic.
For
So
sure.
let's stand up. Let's be careful here because I know we're in mixed reality again.
Yeah.
Ed Zimba, are you in the back? We can step back a little bit away from our chairs so that we're all feeling good. Yep, we're good. Okay, fantastic. So hey, Ed,
Yes, Dave.
Adam's talking about beer and Top Golf, and I noticed something over to the side there. Adam, what were you
Yes.
thinking?
Yeah, does that transporter take us somewhere? It looks like it's got a name on it now.
I think it might. It might just do
Okay.
that. So I'm pretty sure that there's a name on the transporter that might even be a hint as to where it takes us. Okay. So first, I just want to say before we officially jump, outstanding job, okay, for everybody. And that includes not just the folks on the stage, but also the folks in the audience, okay? You guys have all done a fantastic job learning this platform very quickly. I'm completely blown away. And just so you guys understand, there's a whole nother instance, but just so that these guys can see how many folks are participating, let's all light up the emojis here for the folks who have done this presentation and for where we're going next, okay? So that you guys can show a little bit of love here to the people that are working so hard on. We could call a meeting, team meeting or something, but instead we're getting to do something really cool and different and something that's truly going to bring you someplace that's special to Adam and to the folks that he works with every day. Okay, so this is a real honor for us, I think for everybody. So on that note, I'm going to say, Adam, why don't you go ahead and let's do the honors here. Let me just do a quick check with my crew, okay, to make sure that we're good. We're getting into
While you're checking that, folks, thank you. We're going to wrap the formal program now. And, there was a neat place out there. Maybe you got to explore it. If you didn't, come back tomorrow because we've got a whole other session that Shannon and Lee were alluding to on what happens when you take VxRail plus NVIDIA. Wow, cool stuff. That's going to be in Auditorium East tomorrow. But you know what? I think Ed's team worked really hard. It sounds like it's going to work. We're going to cross our fingers.
Cross
Maybe
our fingers.
Give a
right?
couple okay signs.
All right. I officially got the green light. I got the green light.
We got the green
We are
light.
officially good to go, guys. So I think, Adam, you should do the honors, my friend.
All right, I'll step through.
Are we going to New Belgium?
And let's see if this works.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
Drum
Adam.
roll. Oh, that's one. Oh, there he went.
All right, everybody. I'm going to say let's do this in groups. So the speakers, you guys head over first. And then we're going to have like the left half of the stage that's closest head in. And then kind of go from there so we don't necessarily have everybody going at once, okay?
Ready,
So
Scott?
I'm going to say,
Yep.
so this side of the room over here, if you guys want to all start popping in one at a time after the speakers go in,
For Josh.
fantastic.
Oh, yeah, we're looking for Josh. He's going to be hopping in just a moment. I think we
All right,
have an
keep
interview
heading
here
in,
before
guys.
we
You did
hop
a good
into the New
job.
Belgium.
Promise it'll all be worth it, guys.
It's a
when
big
we
group
go
of
over
people
there.
going in at once.
And I have
Here we
to
go.
say also, just so,
If I can
and
find
by the way,
Josh.
there's a couple ways to get in. One is you can just walk in, okay?
Hey, Josh.
And the
go.
second thing that you can do as you go in
Thanks, Baker.
is you can tap the teleporter. So just
There's
point
Mark.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't
teleporter
unmuted.
at the
Hey,
top
Josh.
corner,
Thanks, Baker.
tap the teleporter, and then you can go in that way as well. So
No
there's
worries.
2 different ways.
All right, so I'm now
that you can go
unmuted
in.
on both
Okay.
Zoom. So you may hear some chatter in the background, everyone. But I believe we're going to end up hopping down
everybody's doing a
and
good
doing
job.
a quick interview on the stage. Before we hop
Oh.
to New Belgium, let me double check that on my schedule real fast. I should have that open already. Give me just a sec. It's right here. There it is. Yeah, so transition, Jonathan, Converged user group. Yeah, so I think we're looking for Jonathan Tulin.
Saying that he wasn't.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Josh. I think you cut out there for a second.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yep.
So you guys can go ahead.
Can
and
everyone
just
on
start
Zoom hear
heading
Josh?
into
Okay.
New Belgium. You're welcome to hang
Sweet.
back for a few minutes and
Yes,
chat as
we
well.
can hear
Okay.
Josh. We're
I'm
still
gonna say
hearing Ed in the
Jocelyn
background.
Okay,
and
yeah, we're
Mark,
kind
that
of
you guys can consider doing the same.
we're kind of waiting for them to finish before we kind of really start doing anything specific, Josh. That way, there's not that kind of amplified voice going on in the background while we're doing it.
That's cool. So, Mark, just want to let you know they said on stage that JT, Jonathan Tulun, wasn't available to be here
Oh,
today.
correct. You're
And
right.
so their Converge User Group VP, I think it was Matt Baker. I can't remember the
Mhm.
name now. That
Yes,
that
it was Matt.
he had the opening remarks. So I'm assuming we'd be talking to him instead of JT.
All right. I believe he already hopped to New Belgium, so we may be able to head that way. Let me go ask Ed real quick if he's planning to be backstage. He might not have had the opportunity to be informed, so we may just have to go
Okay.
find him in New Belgium. I'll hop down there and talk to Ed real
Do
quick.
you want me to just hang here? Or?
No, you can follow me. Sounds good. Why don't you?
Okay, I'll follow you.
And then you can introduce yourself in just a moment if that's cool with you.
Yep. Just let
Okay.
me know.
Great. Let's just go this
Sweet
way.
talk.
I would say let's just let these guys filter in, and then if you want to take a minute, we can take a minute.
Yeah, or you can use your left thumbstick.
Hi Ed, I know I'm projecting. Let me back off. I believe we would be meeting with Matt. Is that correct, Ed?
Yep. So
No, I don't think you heard me.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, Dave, and we're gonna have the
He didn't hear me.
speaker. Dave,
There he is. Hey,
you still
Dave.
hear me, Dave?
Yeah, I just wanted to get off stage.
Yeah, same here.
Sorry. You want to come back here?
Okay.
Yeah,
So Dave,
I just
why
wanted to
don't
get
you
off
and I
stage.
head back here so that we can let Mark and Josh get set up, and then we're gonna go ahead and have the first speaker come talk to him.
That sounds perfect.
Who's the first speaker? Do you know to bring them here? We'll have to do a find friend and bring them there. Okay.
Yep. So if what I would do, Dave, is why don't you and I come this way? Josh can talk to the folks in Zoom, and then you and I can go see if we can get these guys the speakers that we want to have head over, because they have the
Perfect.
schedule. I just don't know if they're necessarily jumping back this way just now. Okay. So let's go see if we can go ahead and.
Thanks, guys. Have a good time.
So I know that the first speaker, Dave, actually you said I don't think was here or.
Yeah, Josh. So while we're waiting on the first speaker, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, sure, Mark. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Abrams. I'm with All Technologies. I work with Shen and Dave Giesecke and some of the other folks you've seen here today. And so I've been, in the marketing team for Converged, Hyperconverged, and primary storage products. A little bit of everything. And today I'm serving as your roving reporter here at the Converge User Group event. And just looking forward to it. I guess Dave Giesecke and Ed are going to be bringing some of the different celebrities, some of the stars, some of the presenters you've seen here today come over, and any questions you have for them, pass them along from Mark to me, and we'll ask on your behalf. Sound good?
And then just walk in.
That sounds great. Thank you. See if we got anybody.
Sure.
There we go.
I think they're all experimenting with that teleport thing over there.
Right. Yeah. So it's all good. So, how do you feel about doing these events? You've done a few now. So what do you think about VR and being in out space like this during an event versus like a Zoom
Well,
conference?
Sure. I mean, it's certainly different, right? It's certainly unique, and I'm really enjoying it. But I'll tell you who's enjoying it even more is my 11-year-old son Logan, who's
homesick today, and we were able to actually hook up in our office, my room, and whatever that we are casting from my VR goggles to a TV screen through a Fire Stick. I know you can do this through a Chromecast, so he could see and hear what I could see and hear. So that was really interesting. He's trying to steal these goggles every chance he gets. And obviously, I couldn't let him stand in for me as the reporter this afternoon, but he got to see a little bit about what Dad does for a living. Just seeing it on TV. But,
Yeah, right. No, that's fun.
certainly not something I could do on Zoom. And we've all seen, right, whether it's pets or kids or what have you, seeing that, seeing something pop up in the background on a Zoom call, right, to your point earlier, that certainly didn't get to see Logan hanging out in the background while we were doing this event, but you would have if we were doing this on Zoom. But kind of a long answer there, but I think this is a really cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it continues to evolve.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's a really cool new technology, and people are adopting it really quickly, and I think it's a really fun time. So you guys are really excited to see. So why don't we let's see, kind of waiting. It looks like Dave might actually be coming down real quick, so let's give him a second.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could like take a tour of this area. I haven't even seen all of it. This is a new space for me.
Sure.
This auditorium looks similar to other events we've done, and then the social space again is a little bit similar, but a lot of new features, a lot of really interesting. I mean, I think Link to VR did a great job in designing this space. So it's been fun to kind of look around, and I like the natural light that's coming in from the ceiling here in the auditorium. It really brightens it up compared to the other space that I've seen.
Yeah, that's true. Let me check something real fast. Okay, I just got a message. Want to make sure we're all good. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. I'll follow you, and you kind of talk about what you're seeing and your first impressions of it, and then when they have a speaker pop up, we'll hop back in here so we can have it more quiet.
Sounds good.
Oh, hey, Dave.
Here's Geese now. Hey.
How are you?
Okay,
Geese,
how
I'm
are you?
bringing in.
Oh, good timing.
I'm good, thanks. I heard that you were broadcasting this at home. That's really fun. It's really fun. Shannon Champion is.
Oh, there's Shannon. Hi.
She's super quick. Hey, I'm glad you made it. We suffered. We didn't suffer. We survived some challenges and came out stronger at the other end. That's fantastic.
I know. All my friends were in VR, and I didn't know who to call. So luckily, I could just amplify to everyone.
Well, I'll have to say, Shannon, you found the hidden room that I hid in here, and
I was laughing pretty hard at Shannon getting assistance in the back, stuck in the wall.
I'm like,
everyone's gathered around to help her.
That's so funny. I fell out of one of the drafts of the New Belgium Brewing room. I went outside on the patio.
I almost feel like you get extra credit for like having that experience.
I know. Testing it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I feel like you're bringing new meaning to breaking something to try and make it work. Right.
Oh, I know.
You're breaking that space.
Let's see if we can get in a circle. Scott Forehand, come on over here. I want to introduce you to Shannon Champion. Shannon, let's see. Can I get out of the way? Am I in the way?
I think if you put your bubble on, it'll just move you.
All right. Well, here we go.
There we go.
So Scott Forehands, Top Golf, Shannon Champion. Can you guys do a fist bump? Can we do that? Can we do that?
Oh, God.
All right.
Nice work.
All right. There we go.
That's great.
Fantastic. Josh is the roving reporter, and we've got two speakers here. Mark is the effective cameraman. So Josh,
hello.
Just a couple of minutes. What do the folks on the Zoom want to know about Top Golf and VxRail?
Oh, Mark, do we have anything from the Zoom audience?
Not at the moment. If you have anything you want to just go ahead and ask, we'll get the ball rolling.
Sure. Cool. I mean, Scott, I got to tell you, I've been to the Vegas location at Top Golf a number of times, and you were talking about customer experience, and you guys knock it out of the park. I have so much fun when I go there. And my wife was there for the first time in August, doesn't play golf, had a blast. So
cool.
She wants to know about getting the Boston franchise. So maybe you and I can talk about that.
we could maybe do that. Yeah, we could maybe talk about that. Oh, Vegas is tough to beat, honestly.
Right.
And surprisingly, 51% of the people that come to a Top Golf don't golf. That's
Hmm.
kind of our
Wow.
that's kind of our whole thing.
I was just reading an article actually about that at driving ranges, places like Topgolf. Well, there's nothing like Topgolf, but that's like the hot thing right now. That just to your point, right? That there are more non-golfers trying out golf through these experiences than has ever been seen
Yeah.
before.
I mean, that's our focus is bringing new people to the sport, making sure that they have a good time and they're engaged, and
Mhm.
we're trying to get them to come back so that they can share their experiences with us. We're all about creating a moment that matters for our guests, and that's really kind of our credo. That's all we try and do. So anytime that we're building a new experience like Angry Birds or creating a new menu item or a new menu entirely for the fall or holiday or whatever the case may be, it's all with one thing in mind, and that's
Mhm.
making sure that we can make those moments that matter for those guests.
I love
Yeah,
that.
let me.
Sounds like you made several moments that matter for Josh and his wife. So nice work.
That's great to hear, honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I described this to her so many times, and then when we got there, she was like, "Oh wow, there's this and there's this." I'm like, "I've told you about this," but for her to see it versus me just describing it, it was like a whole new world for her.
Yeah.
But I was just curious. Again, I might be putting you on the spot here a little bit. I mean, obviously, I've had this experience now. I can see all the data that you guys are capturing on the screen. You're on the when you swing the golf club, and you see the angle and the speed off the club and the drift from left to right. Like, where's all that data going? Is that VxRail behind the scenes?
Yes, that is a VxRail behind the scenes, and it's tied into the cloud data centers as well. We're not doing anything publicly with that data. That's more helping us train those games to kind of create better experiences at the moment. I mean, who knows? Maybe something in the future where it ties into the app and you can go look up historically how you're doing and see your trend lines and maybe figure out, hey, I'm becoming a better golfer and I've never golfed outside of a top golf, right? Maybe I should go try a green grass driving range and maybe go play a round. So that's
Oh,
kind
Scott,
of the
now that I've done
progression.
Topgolf, sorry, I was gonna say now I've done Topgolf, I don't think I can go back to a traditional driving range anymore.
Same,
Well,
honestly.
I mean, it's hard to track the ball sometimes on a real range, and it's really nice to be able to hit it and then look over and see and all that stuff. I mean, that's really cool.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Geek. I try to keep my head down, and when I finally bring it up after the follow through, I have a hard time picking up the ball in the sky. So it's great having that monitor recreating my shot. I can follow it that way.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like Shannon might be out of headset at the moment. So I won't. This also happens from time
Mark,
to
let me
time.
check in with you really quick. Any questions coming in from the Zoom audience? I don't want to dominate Scott completely here.
I don't see any
Mark
coming
off
through
headset
right
as well?
now. No, I was
Okay.
fine. I was just
Actually,
unmuting.
we do have one question.
Do we have a
in the
couple? We
chat.
do have one
Because
question.
I'm
Give me
already
one
kind of
second.
a fanboy over here with Scott. I'm gonna probably
We do have one
We have
question. I see it in the
Top
chat
Golf
right now.
coming to Fenway, don't we?
So if you don't
Oh,
mind, Scott,
great point. Yeah, they are.
can you
For the
guys
Boston
hear me
folks,
okay?
Topgolf is doing a temp thing at Fenway Park.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
My
mean to interrupt.
fiance's
That's
company
Topgolf
already
Live.
booked a whole suite for it. Yeah, and I'm hoping I get an invite to go because it sounds awesome.
Really cool.
Cool.
I always joke
Yeah,
with
those
her.
pop-up
She
events are
got
really
tickets
popular.
to a Dell suite at Fenway before I ever did from her company, not at Dell.
Oh, that's too funny.
That makes sense, though. Scott, question for you. When I'm watching golf on TV, is any of that going back to a VxRail?
Not currently, no. So we have a couple of different lines of business. That line of business is called broadcast, and those guys are exclusively doing what you see on TV. That exact same technology is what's used in the venue. And when you see your ball getting traced, that's being
One
processed.
second. I'm gonna.
I think you are
Manoj.
muted.
Hey, hold on. Move
Hi.
over here, guys. Here, guys, move over here
I
because
think Manoj is broadcasting, but he's standing on
Yeah.
that stage. To get him off.
Just as a heads up, Dave, we do have a question from chat after you're done with your question here.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Scott. But is the
No, you're
plan
good.
to is that on Power Edge right now, and that's part of the stuff that you're migrating over to HCI, VxRail?
That is something that I'd like to look at doing. Right now it is on PowerEdge, but it's not something that we've ever really been involved with. We have a top tracer team in Sweden that manages that platform entirely. And they're kind of autonomous around the broadcast stuff. So we are using VxRails for that exact technology in the venue today. When you see your ball getting traced in a venue, all that is being processed on the VxRail using GPU, AI, and ML, and then it traces your ball out to the field. And it's tracing, I think in Vegas over a month, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 45,000 shots a day.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
So and they're working. You guys are working with the NVIDIA GPUs, and you did your own AI ML powered by that with the VxRail. So this announcement this week, and the more that we'll talk about tomorrow, could facilitate future stuff for you. Would it make it easier?
Well, it's certainly not going to hurt. It's all about the evolution of that tech, right? I think what we're doing is kind of a little bit, not going to say bleeding edge, but cutting edge with those VxRails and the way that we use them. And it's starting to become the norm with AI and ML and NVIDIA in the data center or in the enterprise. And we're seeing technology in their stack evolving the same way that we're seeing Dell evolve with it. And everybody's just getting better. And with that, we're able to kind of pivot our solution and kind of re-architect our designs to fit it. And it always makes it easier because it's supportable and easy to manage, and it's life managed inside of something like a VxRail.
Dave,
just kind of step back and worry about the config.
I think just so you know, I think we're running out of time a little bit here on the Zoom side, and everybody wanted the Zoom people wanted to hop in. I don't want to interrupt or anything, but they were just saying they would like to hop in and see New Belgium and check it out, and if that's okay, we'll follow up with some questions, tomorrow as well.
We'll do that later. The folks, I understand. Please get yourself to New Belgium, give them a tour, and if folks can stay on the Zoom, that would be fantastic. We'll keep things open for a bit.
Yeah, great.
We got a little bit. We have that flexibility.
Right. No, that's great. So thank you guys so much, Shannon
the tasting room?
and Scott and everybody. Yeah, we'll head over there. Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
We'll head that way now. It looks like Shannon's
Geese, I'm gonna
hopping
follow
out.
you, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds great, Josh. So we'll just kind of head into the teleporter real fast. So we'll just join here.
Not even moving.
A lot of people.
Yes. So have you met, trying to see if there's other customer advisory council.
Are they just the logos, like the converged logos you're looking
Hey,
for?
Dave.
Oh, yeah.
We got a full space here.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah. Have to fix that. Oh, there's Dave.
See where Josh is. There he is.
Oh, wait, I can't hear you.
Hey, Josh, can you see me?
guys
Whoop,
hear me?
there we go. Hello. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Shannon, I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, to see you in person.
Sorry, I was muted.
No problem.
This is like the most crowded I've ever been in VR.
Right, this is crazy. But that's really good. It's a really cool thing. It really feels like you're there, and that's a really awesome experience.
Thank you very much.
This is amazing. I mean, I saw a couple of screenshots of this like last week, but being in this is phenomenal.
How are you doing, Dave?
Yeah.
It's funny. I was trying to play like bouncer over there for people wandering in. I was like, hey, come over here.
Sure.
Everybody crowding around the entrance.
Oh, thanks. You said I was too formal last time, so I had to cheer it.
It's really cool.
I know.
Yeah, so you're having a good time, Chris?
I feel like I'm standing
Yeah, this is great. This is great. I got it's funny. I've been trying to like for new people like just going into my old trade show mode where I'm like standing by doors pointing like, okay, yeah, come over here. This is where you're gonna go. I say that would actually be the like my immediate feedback. We might actually should have someone do because at the beginning some people will get lost in that first area. Stand-ins kind of being like, hey, over here, help them get them over. It took me a minute to find it, but then once I did, I kind of stood there and assured everyone else in.
Well, very nice. That's appreciated too. So Josh, you want to walk around and kind of?
This is good to see your hands.
Oh yeah,
moving.
that's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, got my hands back. But
Oh, we're frozen there for a second. Is that just me? There we go.
The backwards cameraman usually wear the hat back.
Yeah, the cameraman. Yep.
That's a good sign.
Wearing my hat backwards.
So Mark, is there someplace you want me to be?
Yeah, I was gonna say
or
let's
somebody you
just
want me
walk around,
talking
look at the environment, let people check it out because I know they're gonna have something here at the end, so we can kind of wander around until they're ready. I think.
I think it's because there's a lot of people around.
Okay. Let's go over to the
Okay.
bar. This is really cool. I mean, look, you can actually make out the different brands here on the taps.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop to the other side so they can see it and zoom a little bit better.
You're going on the other side of the bar?
Yeah, just so we can see the taps.
So much better now.
There we go.
Now that I'm over here, I can see this
I can hardly
VxRail
hear
hologram
anything.
just spinning around on the bar. This is awesome.
I took a picture of that.
I'm gonna
one
take a
with the
picture
VxRail
there.
logo. Did a really good job.
Okay.
But we can also show this information like this inside the space, and it's a really good way to tell sort of the customer story.
Sorry.
Let me back up a little bit.
I'll leave it open for just a moment.
Cool.
What's that? Button is it on there that you
Very
UMass?
cool.
That's where my parents
All
wouldn't
right.
let me go to school.
Yeah, there we go. VxRail in the
Mark, I
bar.
was just wondering if there was any features that this is just like it's just here to spin on the bar, or if there's something we.
Yeah, for now, that's what we're doing. I think we might have had one to pick up over there somewhere. I'm not sure. But this one here is just to kind of show it off, let people kind of see VxRail on the outside, and then we have some VxRail cameras or a VxRail camera.
There we go.
Rick, ready.
I mean, like at this event, other events, I've certainly seen the racks like the one over there in the corner, but up at both corners here. But I've never seen the component, the actual VxRail
Bump in this world, right?
Yeah, the fist
on its own like this. That's really cool.
Yeah, we might have a little bit of surprise in some future events of what you can do with this. Sort of more like a teaser of what we can do.
Big balloons pop out of it.
Yeah, maybe later. Not yet.
Especially when you can't get together in person.
I love these windows. Like we can actually look outside of the tap room there. That looks like a beautiful day.
Yeah, it's the production area. Actually, there's some information over there by the production area, so I'm going to head over there and open that up.
Get used to it
even though we're same.
Yeah.
It's like we work together so much. It was helpful to meet something soon that we can all get together.
Yeah.
People.
I mean, we
are
thought it
scared
was
to
going to
travel.
be. I mean, I haven't even met Denise, right? So we thought it would be September, and then that got shuttled, right? So I don't know. I honestly, it'll probably won't be this spring. I mean,
What
it's
Dell
so mad.
infrastructure
In
makeup?
there.
We run pretty much everything on Dell, so we're
Yeah.
we're not in the hyper-converged space yet. We've kind of rolled our own.
Oh, there he is.
We've got
Hey, Josh. So do you know anything about this area over here?
Chris is walking around with a beer. Good for him.
I believe they call this the West Room. And they do a lot.
The West Room.
Yeah, it's one of their other
Okay.
areas where they'll have some taps and trying out some different craft beers. And then they have their big fan that they have up here that they love.
I can understand. Feels super real, doesn't it?
Hey, Mark,
Nice.
is it possible to go to the PowerFlex booth?
Sure, we can do that. So Josh,
Dan, how are you?
everyone in Zoom wants to go over to the PowerFlex booth, so we're going to head over that way. I believe
Yeah,
it's
interesting. I think
Okay,
that
Rox,
that's an
how was
interesting thing.
Oh, we can say quick
You know,
there,
saving
right?
OpEx and saving labor.
teleport over. Here we go.
Something I think, yeah,
There we go.
it kind of takes parts about Delta. Meeting
Yes.
customers
Yeah.
obviously as well in presentations, but just connecting with colleagues from all over the world was always great.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I missed that.
It was really funny because I started in February, like I said, and a month later, we were all in lockdown, of course. And luckily, Caitlin said, you have to be in Hopkinton as much as possible. Thank goodness it was, because I met Matt Hobbs. I met Jonathan Asbestos, who I know he moved on, but some of these guys that are from all over the world.
Yeah.
Got to meet them.
Yeah.
Oh. Hi, Matt. Can you hear me?
Josh
Oh, I
and
didn't
Matt,
mean to
because of
interrupt.
all
I'm
the
sorry.
things they want. But other than that, it's great.
The audio cut out there in a second ago.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Sue,
We have
how are
a
you?
couple questions.
reporter?
Yes, we were trying to
Yeah,
relay Zoom
Mark's
stuff.
my cameraman right here. He's telling we got some questions here.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty
Mark, what do we
good
got?
question, which is what's new in the PowerFlex world? That's the question we have right now.
Oh yeah. So we recently our last launch delivered like replication in the HCI space. We worked some scale, so moving to all the way up to a couple thousand compute connections on the SDC side, and we did work. So did to start to kind of roll in more storage-centric views for customers as they look across across the whole portfolio. So that's kind of what we did recently. And then the big thing coming up, and Sue's helping me work through that, but the big thing is the 15G launch. And so including PowerFlex with the new hardware and aligning the new hardware is kind of what the team's heads down in trying to get that alignment. So I think that's probably the key big things that are happening with the platform. And then, of course, we delivered across the appliance, and then what we're looking at here is the rack, for our customers to go out a little bit. The first half of next year was a really big release where we're bringing in file support. But today we're just block, right? And we're working with the team to bring in file support into the product. We're really that. And we're bringing them kind of together to deliver. And finally, a little bit about kind of how we talk to the storage. We have the compute side and the storage side. What we're doing is doing NVMe Project Gilgit, the same thing that was announced actually. We're actually participating in that, and we're going to be the ports connecting to the specific SDC Dell IP, so over standard protocols. So customers are really excited about that too, because it can just use standard protocols. So that's a really exciting stuff happening.
Very nice.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did have one more. We have a question about with the 15G launch, are we going to see any new capability for 5G launch?
Say that there's a couple things. So one thing that's brand new is we're going to actually be with the 15G supporting AMD processors as well on the compute side, so customers can start to consume. And then in terms of features, probably the best way to think about this is we're seeing as much as 50% performance improvements on the storage in the back end, and we're doing some really cool testing in Oracle and different environments to be able to kind of prove that out. So as you try to bring that new infrastructure, as the new infrastructure comes in,
key features are around, anchored in that space, so we can kind of start to see the next group of performance. I mean, the main reason people buy and align software-defined storage is just for that, right? This idea that you never have to move your data again. Hey, I'm on 14G today, or some customers will be moving from 14G. The fact that they can add these new things to the cluster and the auto balance all of that stuff, and you can pull the stuff, the old server out if you want, is really, one of the claim to fames here is around speed to rebuild, very, very fast. So that's some of the key things that you'll see here coming up.
Very nice. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
All sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks guys for stopping in,
Sure.
and I'm glad to be able to help. Any other questions, feel free.
Okay, thank you. We had a little bit of an audio issue that had nothing to do with you. We had some network drop a little bit there. So that you may get a repeat question there in the Zoom a little later on. Just giving you a heads up.
Okay, no problem.
So thank you.
No problem. All right, take care.
Appreciate it. All right, so I think they're getting ready to do something pretty soon in here, and then we'll be getting close to wrapping up.
Actually, I just wanted to hop in real quick. We have a.
You have what now, Joe? We're having a little bit of audio issues here.
Lee.
Oh. To your left, or my left. There he is. Hey, Lee.
I'm here.
Oh, hey, Lee.
Hey,
How's it going?
Yeah, nice to see you.
You too. Yeah, we got the whole Zoom over here. We have about 70 people in here.
Oh, cool. Wow, great.
Good quick down.
Wow. Really great. I mean, this is a new way to go and get engaged. Fantastic.
Yeah. I'm just helping kind of facilitate some of that. I know we were talking about doing interviews earlier.
Yeah.
Do we have a for Lee here, Mark? Or
I think so. Joe, you still there? We should have time, right? Do we have are they getting ready to do the
Yeah, we have a little bit more time.
wrap up? Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, I just didn't want to have to cut Lee off or anything. So that's perfect. So let's go ahead and start. We're having a couple little audio things going on right now, just a couple drops. So if we have any questions from the Zoom group, we'll try to get them to you. And we'll try to make sure that they may ask again in Zoom. I just want to kind of give you a heads up there.
Okay. All right. Terrific.
Okay, so Lee, I'm Josh. It's nice to meet
Josh.
you.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Okay.
All right.
So, enjoyed your opening remarks there back at the auditorium. Just curious, how long have you been with VMware?
So I've been with VMware for 5 years. I had working for race type of course. So yeah, it's been a great partnership together. And what a change over the last 5 years, right? We
absolutely
into the the converged user group, and just how big this is right now is really rewarding.
Into the converged user group myself. About the scaling. You more about that?
Yeah, just the growth, steady growth for over 17 quarters. Just put that in perspective for a minute, right? And what we're watching is just modernization of infrastructure across the board, right? And what's driving this really is the fast pace of application change.
Hey everybody,
So
just letting you know we're going to have our amazing brewmasters do a toast, okay, in just a couple minutes. So if we could have the folks taking photograph, video, all that good stuff, make sure you make your way in here. After we do the toast in here, we're going to be jumping out to a Zoom. Just so you know, there's a parallel, there's a Zoom that you're going to be able to go on to when you go back to the Zoom, basically. And Dave will be taking over from there and giving you guys some directions. So I'm going to hand it over to Dave here, and you can do the intros, Dave.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody, if that's okay. Just
thank you,
go
Lee.
ahead, Dave. You take it
Thanks,
from here.
Lee. Sorry.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, appreciate
We'll
it.
catch you
Sounds
on
like
the
we're
Zoom.
moving into the break section, so.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and
we
head
got
over that way. Thanks again, Lee.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, look forward to it. So great growth.
Earned it, and so did everybody on the team. Okay, wait. Now, can I hold this? Nope, I can't. I gotta
Oh, sorry.
turn that off and then pick it back. Right. Everybody, thank you so much. This is really, really cool stuff. Thank you to New Belgium for, taking this journey with us. And thank you to the Link to VR team for realizing this. Thank you to Jeremy. Where'd you go, Jeremy? There you
It's up
are.
on someone's head.
For vision. And Shannon, thank you for the leadership for letting us take so we could get to this point. Thank you to the Converge user group members and the Dell Technologies and the VMware folks for the support. Help make this happen. I mean, this is really incredible. I really, really enjoy being in front of you folks like this. I can't really shake hands. That to get behind what the VxRail enables. So thank you here to everybody. Cheers and here. Now I will put this down gently, and I will say, where's Adam? Adam disappear. Where's Adam? There you are, Adam Little. As the Converge. Any words, anything to say? Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I would just echo what you said. Thanks to all the sponsors, Dell, Intel, and NVIDIA for coming together. And the whole team worked on all of this. It's just incredible. So, can't thank everyone enough that I'm sure I omitted there for all their work on this, but it's great.
Awesome stuff. And it's just the beginning, because this is, I think, grade one.
Sure.
To come. Scott, I missed Mike. I don't think I've seen Mike yet, but if you guys are interested in doing, oh, there you are, Mike. Fantastic. If you guys are interested, if this is interesting, please come talk to us, because we'd love to be able to share things, in VR and learn about all the fantastic ways technology. Okay, enough said there. Gentlemen, thank you. Do you guys have speaker host tools?
I do have speaker host tools. Thank you all for letting us be a part of this. And for you guys coming to our home, even if it is virtually, outstanding. And really cool experience for us to be a part of. And thank you all for this experience. From here, everyone will be moving on back to Zoom. And the three of us, Cody, Maddie, and I, Patrick, will be.
Oh gosh, come on.
I believe we'll be moving on to Zoom right now. Correct?
Yes, we will.
And with a big hearty cheers, I want to say thank you.
Cheers.
Here.
Cheers, everybody. Hi, also, if you check out the chat, you'll see that there's a Zoom link
Those of you,
just inside the chat.
the tasting and the education,
Where's the Zoom?
please.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I see that you sent that to me.
For another VR lounge.
Yes, I'll post it again. I just posted it.
That would be great. Thank you.
All the things you can do with AIML, or all the things it enables you to do easier for AIML. Thank you.
Hey, Jeremy.
All right, Ed, where are you at?
Right here.
There he is.
All right, there you go.
All you're gonna do is just go ahead and hop out of here, go back to the Zoom. Everything will be waiting for you. It's as simple as that. Now, as far as how to get out of here, for those of you who are still trying to figure that part out, you just go to the menu in your bottom left corner. Menu, settings, and then in the bottom left, you'll see exit.
All right, I was just going to go ahead and stop the share there. Sorry about those little audio issues there at the end. We had a little networking problem, it looked like.
Oh, that's
That
all right. Hey,
causes it to...
it happened.
New technology, right?
I know.
The joy of conference calls.
Yeah, that's what happens with all the new technology.
Exactly.
Well, everybody, thank you for hanging in there with us. We appreciate it. We did just post the other Zoom link into the chat. So make sure you click that link, and that's where the New Belgium Brewing Brewmasters will be doing a bit of a tasting and overview for everybody. And also the whole team will be there, everybody who was in VR. So if you have questions for any of the speakers, experts, we can definitely get those questions answered in that Zoom. So we look forward to seeing everybody over in the Zoom. Of course, if you have questions for our team, you know where to find us. We're also sending out a survey after this event, so we would love your feedback. We're looking at bringing more of these events in the future, so make sure to share your thoughts with us so we can continue to improve these offerings moving forward. All right, and Ron, I see your question in here. This is not the Verbella platform, but you have such a good memory. That was with the member suite event farm team. We use Verbella. That is, I'm not sure, I think it's an event farm platform, but this was through AltSpace VR. So that's the platform we were in, and the participants were using Oculus Quest 2 headsets. So we hope everybody enjoyed it. And as I mentioned earlier, we're also going to be giving away 2 Oculus Quest 2 headsets during the Converged VR event tomorrow. So NVIDIA will be in the Converged VR Lounge tomorrow. So if you're interested in attending, there'll be 2 lucky Zoom participants who will be in the drawing for those Oculus Quest 2 headsets. All right, well, we will see everybody over in the Zoom. I see we still have a lot of people here, so I'm going to share this link one more time, make sure everybody has it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mark and Shelley, and we'll see everybody over in the new Zoom shortly. Mark and Shelley, if you want to go over, I'll wait for a few more people to jump, and then I'll see you over there soon.
Okay, excellent. We'll see you there.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. If anyone here on the Zoom has questions, feel free to send me a note. I'm happy to help. All right, everyone, we are going to be closing this Zoom since we're moving over to the New Belgium Brewing Brewmasters tasting session. So that is posted in the chat for anyone who's interested in joining. We look forward to seeing you there or at a future Converge user group event. Thank you for attending. Have a great afternoon.